We now move on to our next championship case today, and that is going to be Joey Logano, currently 5th in the playoff point standings, or the playoff standings, whatever you want to call it, not the regular season points. He might be there too, but I don't know. Anyways, we're going to talk about him, how his season's gone so far, how his chances are looking in the playoffs, where he's good, where he's not good, and all that stuff. So let's start this thing off. Their season so far, 2 wins, 1 at the track where the championship is, Phoenix, and another at Las Vegas, which is also another playoff track. So yeah, looking at their year so far. Other than that, it's been an up and down year. They've had some good runs, like they did at the Dover race. They had a top 5, led some laps there. They got a few stage wins, I believe, 4 stage wins on the season. But other than that, they've had some mediocre races, some good races, as I said, but nothing extraordinary. Nothing really crazy great, nothing really bad, but a good season, a couple wins, some playoff points. But as I said with Elliott, as I said, I think I said this with Keselowski too, if he wants to really kind of make his spot in the championship 4 solid, wants to have a better shot, he's got to get some more wins, some more stage wins, some more playoff points to his name, so he can, because right now it's a really close battle with him, Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex Jr. when it comes to the playoff points. So he's going to have to find some way to out playoff point those guys. So if we do get a winner from behind him in the round of 8, or if he has to point his way into the championship 4. So yeah, let's look at the playoff schedule. The first round, Darlington, I feel like has not been his best track. I don't think he's ever won there. He's had a couple good runs there, but other than that, he'll be fine. He'll be fine in this first round, I think. Richmond and Bristol, 2 tracks that he's won at the past. I think he'll do fine there. Both of those tracks, I think. So first round, he should not have any problems whatsoever. For the round of 12, you look at these tracks. Las Vegas, he won there earlier this year. He won there last year, so he's got experience at Las Vegas, and he's got some wins at Las Vegas. Led a lot of laps there last year, I believe, so I expect him to do very well there. And then Talladega, a track that he's also done really well at, has won a lot of races there, I believe 4 or 5 times. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he's been in wrecks too because it's Talladega, so can't really call Talladega. It's Talladega throws a wrench. Then for the road course, the Charlotte Roval, very similar to Keselowski. Unlike Keselowski, he does have a road course win at Watkins Glen, but I don't really consider him that great of a road course racer. He's not like he hasn't won there in quite a while. It's been 5 years. I don't really see him as a top 5 kind of guy at road courses. So I think that Las Vegas race could be important if it came down to points with getting a win. And then Talladega, obviously, is Talladega. So if he were to do, let's say he gets a top 5 run at Las Vegas, Talladega, I think, let's say he just has a Talladega. I don't know. Talladega, he has a bad day. He still has enough playoff points, I think, to advance out of the round of 12. I don't know, maybe, but the Charlotte Road Course and Talladega being in the same round concerns me for everyone not named Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin. Okay, so I'm going to say this basically every video, but yeah, I think he'll get out of the round of 12. He should. He's better than most of his competition, I would say. Yeah, he should be able to advance out of that round. And then we move on to the round of 8. And I like this round for him, to be honest. You look at Kansas. Kansas is a track he's won at a few times. Back in 2015, I believe. Maybe 2016, too. Correct me if I'm wrong again. So he does have a couple wins there. He has a win at Texas. He has a win at Martinsville. He's not one on the new paved Texas. But he has had a couple good runs. He had a top 5 in July at Texas, so a good run there. And then Martinsville obviously got that one a couple years ago, and then one of their wins earlier this year was on that 750 package, and they've actually had a couple really good runs on the 750 package. He's very similar to Chase Elliott, I would say, when it comes to the speed of their cars and where they perform better. From the fact that the 550 package hasn't been great this year for the 22 team, similar to the 9 team, but they've had some really good runs on the 750 package. You look at Martinsville, he led over 150 laps and won a stage. You look at Bristol, he was up there late. He looked like the best short run car in that late short run before being taken out by Elliott. Phoenix, he got that win. So he's had some really good runs at the 750 package track. So I would think that Martinsville would be his best shot to win in this round of 8. And if not, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a close points battle, as I talked about with Chase Elliott, with Brad Keselowski, his teammate Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex Jr. So it's going to be really tough, but I think Martinsville, I like him and Truex. Those are probably the best two out of that group of guys I just said. So yeah, that could be interesting, but let's say he gets out and he goes to Phoenix. As I said, in every other championship case, it doesn't matter if you won 35 of 36 races this year, you blow a tire on lap 1, you finish 4th in the standings. I don't think Logano has the speed of Harvick and Hamlin. But, you know, you look at the spring, I think if I remember correctly, Harvick had the best car at Phoenix. And Logano, they played some strategy, I think. They were able to get up front and they were able to win. If they can do that again, then Joey's the champion if he gets to the championship 4. I mean, it's simple. This format, it makes it so difficult but so easy at the same time to win a championship. I don't think easy is the right word, but it's difficult from the perspective if you're like a Hamlin and a Harvick. You've dominated this year. You get to that championship race, and your season can go down the drain from one bad race. But if you're a guy like Logano and you've had a good year, but you haven't had a championship level year, you can show up, you make it into this race, you could show up, have the best race of your year, win the race, you win the championship. I mean, you look at 2018 when he won his title. That's another thing. He has experience winning in this format. Logano had a good year in 2018, don't get me wrong, but he was nowhere close to Harvick, who had 8 wins, Truex, who had like 5 or 6 wins, Kyle Busch, who had 7 or 8 wins. He wasn't up there. He had 3 or 4 wins that year. He was top 5, top 10 in points, I guess, but he was nowhere close to the big 3. He could do it again this year. He's done it before. He's played spoiler before, and I think that's a role that Logano likes. He likes being the underdog. He likes to go into a round or into a championship race saying, hey, you know what? They're doubting me. I'm going to prove them wrong. And so I think that's another big opportunity for Logano to prove some people wrong. I think he could get it done. He was my championship pick, but if he were to get there, he's won at Phoenix. He's the most recent winner, so why can't he do it? But yeah, tomorrow will be, let me check the standings. Tomorrow will be Martin Truex Jr. So Truex fans, get ready. Then we'll go to Blaney, Bowman, and by that point, I guess race day is Saturday, so we're only going to have Truex for the rest of this week. So Truex will be tomorrow. Friday will be a Daytona preview. Saturday night, if the race doesn't get rained out, it will be the race recap. And then Sunday, we'll get back to the championship cases with any breaking news in between. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Normal stuff. Leave a like, thumbs up, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you tomorrow.